verre là sous les doigts, qui vous entraîne en grand concert dans le tempo de l'univers, la musique.
IPEC remains and must remain a global flagship program of the international labour organisations, and it operates in fact in more countries than any other of our technical cooperation programs. And let's face it, it's regrettable that child labour still exists, and yet we are encouraged that countries want to partner with the ILO to eradicate remaining child labour. And we have made far greater progress in recent years than we have done before. But notwithstanding that, the rate of decline in child labour is simply not fast enough. And as I had to say in Brasilia, the bad news is that only a miracle will enable us to reach the target that we had set ourselves of eliminating the worst forms of child labour by the year 2016. That's the bad news. The good news is that the rapid increase of the decline, if you understand that, indicates that we know what works. We do know what works against child labour. We've learnt a lot, and it is that integrated policies and actions that seek to deal with the root causes of child labour, worst forms and others, are the most effective. And we've shown that they're effective because since the beginning of this century, we have succeeded in bringing down child labour in the world by about 1/3. But there remain 168 million child labourers in the world, and that is, as I've said previously, 168 million reasons why IPEC has to press ahead and accentuate its work.
Today, we have 167 member states that have ratified Convention 138 and 179 member states that have ratified Convention 182, which makes Convention 182 the fastest ratified convention in ILO history, but also, as from now on, the most ratified convention of all the fundamental conventions. We are going to foster our efforts and concentrate our efforts on remaining a center of excellence, a center of knowledge on what works to combat child labor. We are going also to continue providing our support to all your countries that are engaging in policy making, in implementing programs to eradicate child labor. And we're going to do this through exploring new forms and strengthening new forms of cooperation, including this growing South-South cooperation that we are already experimenting in a wide range of countries. Today we would like to focus our conversation on the important and crucial role social protection plays in combating effectively child labor. I would like now to give the floor to Christina Behrendt, who is a senior social protection specialist.
And in fact, social protection policies play a key role in both reducing and preventing child labor. And we all know that child labor is quite often associated with economic vulnerabilities, with poverty, and with shocks. And social protection instruments can in fact play a very important role in reducing and preventing child labor by helping families to cope with these shocks and reduce vulnerability, to enhance their standards of living, to foster transitions to decent and productive employment for adults, and to ensure that children can in fact realize their full potential.
Universal access to education with decent working conditions for teachers, combined with professional training process and broad social protections, are key components of all actions required to the challenge that we are facing. In the same direction, tackling child labor requires increased social investment, especially in times of national and global crisis.